Okay, we have a Nokia Lumia 900. Brand new from Nokia. It's their revival phone. They're trying to make a comeback with this into the US market. It's a Windows Phone 7 handset, and they say it will be upgradable to Windows Phone 8 when that comes out. And this is a sort of in-depth review of me and my experience using this phone over the course of the last few days, maybe about a week or so. You know, all in all, I like this handset. I think that Nokia has done a really good job with the design. The polycarbonate backing is phenomenal. There's nothing else like it on the market right now. HTC One X is similar, but that's not available in the US right yet. The design and the weight and how it feels in your hand is really good. I like how the phone is smooth but not slippery like the iPhone. It's well balanced. It feels good. It's a tad heavy in my opinion, but in general it's a pretty nice device to hold on to. Aesthetically, it's quite stunning. You won't see anything else with a similar design like this. You won't see anything with colors like this as well. This is called Cyan. There's a black version available right now, and they're supposedly working on a white version as well. And you know, to fire it up and to look at the home screen here, you can see that it's really, really nicely colored home screen. Windows Phone has this slide up to unlock the device. And as I slide through the screen here, you can see that it's really smooth, it's really responsive. And that's pretty much the way it goes for all Windows 7 phones. Everything's pretty responsive and pretty fluid. You can see that if I scroll over and go back, and it's fast. So there's no lag here on the home screen. You know, that being said, there is a bit of lag with the dialer, I've noticed. Like if I poke the dialer and then go here and then go 907, some other numbers, that first couple numbers sometimes tends to lag on me. And I don't know if that's a Windows Phone thing, or if that's an operating system version thing, or if that'll be fixed in an update. But I did notice some lag there. The other place I did notice some lag was with the camera. Access to the camera with the camera button, you press it and you get a little bit of a delay, usually coming out of the home screen, and excuse me, from lock. And so if we lock this button, lock the phone, hold the camera, we have to hold it 1, 2, 3, it will come up and then it'll be ready. And that you know, could be a feature if you think it might not be worth taking shots of the inside of your pants. But you know, the iPhone has a double click and you get immediate access to the camera, and so that little bit of a delay there is sort of frustrating if you're trying to shoot something fast, but that's okay. So back to some other things that I like and some other things that I don't like. I think it goes to say that this is a pretty awesome screen. It's very, very high quality with color reproduction and with how graphics and images are displayed. And I think that a lot of people, when they see pictures on this phone, will be really quite impressed with how colors are reproduced and how nice things look on here. The photo looks like it's sort of laid on top of the device. It looks like it's like someone has taken a photo and draped it across, and instead of it actually being reproduced from the inside out. Now, as good as it is for pictures, it is a bit disappointing for text. And so if I go, you know, to Internet Explorer, and if I'm on a web page here, if I zoom in on this text, and if I bring this closer and focus it, you guys can probably see that it's just not that, the quality of the text isn't that good. You know, if you were to compare this to an iPhone or to an HTC One X, you can see pixels and you can see artifacts that just, I don't know, it bothers me when I use the phone, because I know how good the iPhone is and I know how good their other handsets are, and so looking at the text sort of bugs me. But in other aspects of the phone, you know, like I said, like images and graphics, they look quite nice. You know, if we go to the People app and and scroll down through here, you can see just how black and how inky black this screen is, and how smooth the scrolling is. And you know, if I click on, or if I go back and go to back to my photo feed here, into pictures, and you know, go now to what's new, and then click on this one right here. It's just a really nice display, and it's really a pleasure to use. You've got to be a fan of Windows Phone 7 because there's not really a whole lot of apps available in this, you know, phone. A lot of people say, oh, well, there's no apps, and that's not necessarily true. There's quite a bit of apps for things that people generally use. You know, there's a good assortment of regular standard apps. There's a good assortment of tools and utilities in the marketplace. Just as an example, you know, I've got Adobe Reader, ESPN, Flickster, Google+, Google Voice, you know, app for my texting and voicemail, Twitter, YouTube, Zillow. You know, no, there's not going to be the same amount of apps for Windows Phone as there is for Android and for iOS, but if you don't really need a gazillion apps in your phone, you can probably get by with what's available. In that same regard, there are some really cool apps on the Nokia that work really well, like Nokia Drive, which is a free navigational application. And so you can use this to navigate like you can on Android, which is pretty cool. I would say that it's a little bit more clunky than the Google version. It's not as intuitive. I don't know. It just doesn't really seem to work as nicely. And the other thing that bugs me is if you go home and want to do something else and then go back to navigation, you've just closed your app. And so that's sort of annoying. If you're trying to navigate somewhere and you need to answer an email or, you know, pull over and check something, this closes, and so you lose your navigation. That's sort of annoying. In terms of other apps that, you know, that work really well, there's, you know, a flashlight app. Flickster is nice for movies. And this isn't a review about apps. This is more of just the general sort of user experience for this phone. And so don't be afraid that you're not going to find the apps that you want if you're afraid to go down the Windows Phone 7 path. I would say give it a shot because it's most likely that you're going to be able to find an app that suits your needs. And the best thing that I like about Windows Phone is just these live tiles. You know, it's quick access to information. We've got my people updates in my Facebook and Twitter feed here. You know, one poke and I can see what's new. I can go back home. My weather icon here tells me the current weather, and it also gives me a map of any precipitation in the area, which is pretty nice. The other live tiles that work well are, you know, you get little notifications in here from your Facebook and Twitter if people comment on you. You get little icons that change if you have email, new emails. And so live tiles is pretty slick. You saw that picture just changed there. It's definitely not as resource intense as Android is with its widgets and things, and so you don't notice any lag in scrolling, and it's pretty cool to look at, you know. Other things that I like about the phone, mostly just the whole package. You know, Windows Phone works on this handset, this hardware from Nokia really well. The battery life is really great. I think you could probably get about 2 days worth of charge out of it. You know, it's almost 8 p.m. here, and I've unplugged this phone at about 7 a.m. this morning, and I'm down to a half battery. So, you know, I've been using it all day, and it still has about a half day's worth of charge, and so that's pretty nice. The ringtones on Windows Phone 7 are really cool. You know, the sounds and alarms and stuff are I find them rather pleasant. A lot of people don't, you know, maybe like to personalize their stuff with their own downloaded things, but, you know, the ringtones, I just think, like, you know, this is my ringtone. Right. So it's just sort of nice, I think. It's just different than the other stuff you see. And you get, the cool thing is you get the classic Nokia email message for your text and stuff. So if you've had like an E71, you probably recognize that. But anyway, the other thing that I like about the phone too, rock solid network connections, Wi-Fi, 4G have been really good. No issues there. You know, no slowdowns, no problems. Connected to my home internet fine. I can use it anywhere. Good cell phone reception. And I think in general, you know, the phone is pretty good. I would say that I still prefer Android and iPhone over Windows Phone 7, but there's certainly aspects of this phone that I really like, and there's certainly things about it that just, just stand out. One of the other things is the keyboard. The keyboard on Windows Phone 7 is really nice. If you ever used it, it makes a little pop noise. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's also really accurate, and I find it really nice to use. But yeah, you can see here, I mean, I can just see it even from behind the camera how the screen is it's just not that good. You guys can probably see it there. Like, just the resolution of it's just not that good. Anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'll let you guys go. But I would give a thumbs up to this phone, except I personally still prefer Android and iOS, but there's definitely nothing wrong with this phone. It's worth the $99 upgrade fee, or even the $449 I think they want to charge you for a full price. Stunning to look at, pretty nice to hold on to, great user experience, great screen, great camera. Yeah, that's about it. And just to reiterate one point, I didn't talk much about the camera quality because you can check my other video for a camera quality test between this phone and the iPhone and the HTC One X. But good camera, good phone. Thanks guys. Check out my other videos.